What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raise. Ever since the release of The Queen's Gambit, it became a huge deal-breaker. It turned many heads around the world in such a short time. From the distinctive style all the way to the compelling story, there are so many details that go unnoticed, and some are even intentionally hidden, secrets. So, to say that the series tries to hide, and with us telling you about some of them, they are not doing their job that well. Enjoy! The Netflix series is based on Walter Tevis's 1983 book by the same name. Even though the series is based on Walter Tevis's book, he was born in San Francisco in 1928. He was a bit older when he wrote the book, and as a result, many aspects of the protagonist's story are drawn from previous experiences of his. Tevis, though, learned to play chess at 7 years old, but he wasn't any kind of prodigy, and he began his career and didn't go on to compete professionally until he was an adult. He also never got to Beth's level, but he thoroughly enjoyed it and appreciated the intricacies of the game. He spent time at a convalescent home as a child, a time when his parents abandoned him, and while there, Tevis credited his early experiences with drugs and alcoholism, a parallel that is clear in the book. Now, despite the series' story being taken from the book, there are some secrets here and there in altering the story from part to part, but nonetheless, still sticking to the original story, with some minor twists and turns along the way.
Probably still good.
As luck would have it, I've also always suffered from a terrible case of stage fright, which does not bode well for an aspiring performer.
The show's creators consulted chess experts like Garry Kasparov. Now, who is Garry Kasparov? He is a world chess champion and grandmaster, and both he and Bruce Pandolfini were invited on filming as chess instructors. So, Scott Frank brought both of them on board as consultants, and at one point Kasparov was offered to play the role of Vasily Borgov. As Kasparov said in an interview, some of Tevis's game descriptions were amateurish. He was there to make sure they were properly introduced and translated to the big screen. Despite facilitating these adjustments, he also provided some very valuable information and insights into Soviet chess culture that further added to the realism of the series. Thus, maybe these details, which have happened behind the scenes, were some of the most crucial elements to the show and its success.
Shall we turn in our sheets?
You go ahead. I'm gonna study the board a little longer.
The actors played all of the chess games. Now, maybe many of you know that the games played on the big screen were played by the actors. Yes, the games you watched or will watch on the big screen were created by the consultants. The actors had to memorize and play out every move, and we managed to find out that these moments in the filming of the series were some of the most boring ones, so to say, as they knew what those scenes were leading up to, and knew how it would end up, many times shot over and over. However, even when the camera was not on the chessboard, actors still made the moves and were moving the chess pieces on the board, playing out the game, showing their professionalism, as they all should in the movie industry. Actress Anya Taylor-Joy was maybe too excited for the role. As she said it, she is not much of a runner, not even in the moments when she is supposed to. When she got the call for the role, she quickly read the book in the fastest time possible, and she was really thrilled about her role in the series. Nevertheless, after she finished reading the book, she was maybe even too excited. She ran to meet with the creators, Frank in particular, to discuss her role. This alone shows Anya's dedication to the role and what it meant to her. The excitement, the thrill, and the heat of the moment made her do the strangest thing as she ran to her job, a shocker to everyone working nowadays. And as she says it, this is the first time for her, too, to physically run to the studio and play her given role.
I still had time to get out of it. But he took the piece.
Beth's story is similar to that of a real-life American grandmaster. For many of you who are not huge fans of chess but liked the series on Netflix, you might not have noticed, but Beth's story is very much likened to that of the real-life American grandmaster Bobby Fischer, and his life as a whole. The same thing was pointed out by Garry Kasparov, too. Stating the obvious even further, Fischer died in 2008 at the age of 64. And in his obituary, the New York Times described his playstyle as volatile, difficult, dramatic, and brilliant, all characteristics which can be seen in Beth, too. And here is the thing the series also took some notes off of, Bobby's real life, and integrated it into the series, another possible key element to the project called The Queen's Gambit.
Lisa Harmon. Harmon.
Lexington, Kentucky being the backdrop of the series, most of the show was filmed in Berlin, Germany and Ontario, Canada. Now, as we all know, many if not most of the series and movies around the world, especially in the most recent times, are all shot in different locations, other than where the story of the movie is held at. And this is also the case for The Queen's Gambit, which is not a surprise if you consider how many of the series and movies out there are doing the same thing for many years in the past. So several of the show's iconic settings were filmed in Berlin, Germany, from the beautiful French hotel to the Methuen home orphanage. Additionally, some of the most crucial places throughout the series, like the Pivotal Bridge, the Ohio U.S. Championship campus, and also the main character's home, the home of Beth, are all locations in Ontario, Canada.
What surprised me was how bad they played. They left backward pawns all over the place, and the pieces were wide open for forks.
Beth's wardrobe has some secrets too. Costume designer Gabrielle Binder deliberately chose Beth's wardrobe to show some things about her character. Many of the costume designers nowadays do that. It adds a little bit of authenticity to the mix, and a lot more to the look of the character matching their characteristics. Binder, however, chose many checkered patterns throughout the series to show off Beth's love and passion for chess, and fashion too. However, there were some details and outfits that even paid homage to designers of the era in which the story takes place. One of these designers is Andre Kurig. Now, before the season finale, we can see Beth wearing an all-white outfit, and even a white hat too, revealing even before the events occurring that she is the queen on the chessboard, and the chessboard being the world, a title she gets when all things are done and finished.
You're mad.
I'm not mad. Just play.
Heath Ledger was already working on adaptation. The same Heath Ledger, the legendary Joker we all know and love to this day, The Independent reported that he has been already working on an adaptation for the series prior to his death in 2008. The film adaptation The Queen's Gambit, Heath was planning to direct it and also star alongside Elliot Page, who would have been the actress playing the role of Beth. Screenwriter Allan, who writes under the pen name Alan Scott, had been working with Ledger on this adaptation, adding that Ledger resonated with Tevis's novel, as he also was an incredibly gifted chess champion, and coming very close to becoming a grandmaster. He also had a say in today's TV show that became a huge hit, sharing some of his ideas for the show, the authenticity of it, and some new insights on how it is supposed to be played out. Adding a little extra so we would watch in awe of the series, as we go through it maybe in a one go even, binging the hell out of it. TESORO, the key part for the chess games to be kept interesting for the audience. The chess games are a narrative device too, although the chess consultants were very much responsible for the training the actors got to keep the moves realistic. It was the editor Michelle TESORO who got the job done in telling Beth's story through the games, the camera switching the focus to varying things during different matches, like the player's hands, or the ticking clocks, were some of the key elements into the overall arc of Beth's story. Shifting the scenes, keeping the viewers entertained even in the most crucial moments, and the series ones at that too, was one of the secrets the crew behind the scenes used, particularly TESORO, in order to keep the compelling story. And also, the originality of the chess games, together with the chess consultants, is the result of one of the Define's edited sequences at this moment. The chessboard visualizations on the ceiling are not completely unrealistic. Now, many of you might think that looking away from something you have set your mind to, or in this case, the chessboard, is an unrealistic thing to do, meaning you could lose your focus, or even the game. However, current world champion Magnus Carlsen told Chess24 that professionals actually look away from the board to remember some moves, and this is a completely natural and pretty normal thing. A visualization made by your own mind to dive deeper into the game itself, create your own mindset, and keep your head in the game even further. And on that note, we end our video here. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Make sure to leave a comment down in the comment section below how you feel about the series and the cast as a whole. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos like this in the future.